Leica has brought out a 35mm lens, which is my favourite focal length. Leica UK gave me this lens to use, and the store is based in the West End. And so I was walking back and I passed the Ritz. The Ritz is one of these very old English-style establishments where you go for sandwiches and tea in the afternoon, and you pay an extortionate amount of money. At about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the light by the Ritz is fantastic. I just saw all of these people walking into the light, all of these cars driving into the light, and I thought, well, there's a project. This particular time in British history, I think, is difficult. And to try and photograph how we looked, what we wore, what we did, how we felt, is extremely important. Cars and people walking into the light, they're not quite sure what the future holds. Throughout the history of photography, from Bresson through to Frank, through to Alex Webb, they're all using 35mm lenses, and for me it's the perfect field of view. My 35 f2 prime lens on an SL is so sharp. It's a lot smaller than the zoom that I'd previously used with the SL. Far more ergonomic, a lot lighter. It's far easier to just use it with one hand. So you can sort of shoot past people very quickly like this. You can put the background out of focus if you want to. You can bring everything sharp if you want to. There's one picture that I like of a taxi driver who's looking straight at me. He looks pretty upset. And this is one of my sort of favourite metaphors for this sort of underlying Brexit tone. You know, he's taking someone off into the light. He looks upset. The person in the back of the taxi is sort of behind bars, these reflected bars of light, and the sun is coming down. Although, you know, there's golden light, it's not necessarily a golden atmosphere. You can tell when you've got a photograph that's been shot on a Leica lens. And there's nothing else quite like it. If it hadn't been for this lens, I wouldn't have come up with a project. Thank you, 35mm lens.